Good morning and welcome to the Rise and Grind Mastermind call. This call was started on September 8th, 2016. This is a mastermind group, and if you're wondering what a mastermind group is, we always start out this call with the same introduction. It's a concept formulated by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich. A mastermind group is a group of people who come together, like-minded people who come together to accumulate a great fortune. And it's not just a great fortune in the sum of money. It's in wealth building. It's in team building. It's in relationships. It's sharing like-minded ideas, because we do agree that whatever we sow seed, that we will get just compensation. So anyone listening to this call, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Podomatic, iTunes, Google Play, you understand that you are getting compensated, because what we're doing is sharing like-minded ideas. My name is Timeka Williams, but there's other people on this call as well that will get to introduce themselves and chime in on the topics that we're talking about. The motto of this call, if you're listening to this call for the first time, is start your day with a vision. We understand that in the Bible, God tells us to write the vision, make it plain. He that reads it will run with it. So that means that when we write a vision, we're supposed to have a vision set out for our life, not just going along with the flow, whatever we think the universe has for us. We're supposed to have intention. Everything we do, we're supposed to be doing it with intention. So we're supposed to have a vision for our life, and we're supposed to write down that vision every day, and that's very important. Today, our topic is establishing personal integrity. We do these calls because we're trying to share ideas so that this year in our life, on this day, this same time next year, everything should look drastically different. That means that we're supposed to learn from our mistakes. We're consistently supposed to be growing. We're consistently supposed to be gaining wisdom, so that this time next year, we're able to look at the successes that we've learned from, and we're able to be at another growth level. So we understand to reach great success, we must have integrity. We must have personal integrity, because if you don't believe that you are truthful to yourself, then you can't show any kind of outward truth towards anybody else, and that's regards to personal relationships, friendships, anything more serious like business, anything. You must have personal integrity. And James Chapter 1, verse 8 in the Bible, it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So that means that if you lack any kind of personal integrity, not only will you fail, in personal relationships, but business relationships as well. It's important for you to, have personal integrity. One thing about not having personal integrity that I want to start off with first is a lot of us, we may have the intention to do right by others, do right in the sight of others. But having personal integrity, it means that, you are consistent. And when you don't have personal integrity, it means that you're inconsistent. And I want to make a point of the not when I'm talking about personal integrity, because a lot of people may feel like, hey, I'm truthful. People who know me know that I tell the truth. People who deal with me know that I'm on a level playing field. But the not to that is the inconsistency. Some people, people who know you outwardly at work, they may feel that, wow, you're such a great person. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. But is it the same way in your personal relationships? Is it the same way in your close-knit family relationships? Because what you have to realize when it says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, personal integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's looking. You're consistently trying to be a benefit versus, lying to those who are close to you. But when you go out in the public, people see you as this great person who's always doing right by people. But people who are close to you can't even say that, It's like they're saying different things. So consistency is the key, whether you're calling it balance, and it's not too late, because everything that we do in life, we have to realize that we do it out of habit. Nothing starts from, just out the blue. It always starts from a thought in your mind, the intention that you plan on giving, and then there it goes. So if you start something today, if you make it today to say, hey, I'm going to have a little bit more integrity, number one, it starts within you. If you say, today I'm going to start creating this habit, I'm going to do this, it starts from a promise you make within yourself. You can't tell your children, that, hey, I'm going to tell you the truth from this day on. Whatever I say, I'm going to do from this day on. But you're telling yourself something, hey, I'm going to start sticking to this, and you can't even stick to something that you tell yourself. So personal integrity starts with, hey, I'm going to have truth within myself first. Once I get me together, then I can start making promises and being truthful to the people who surround me within my mastermind group, within my family, within my personal relationships. And speaking of personal relationships, it's very important to realize how you have personal integrity with someone else in any kind of close-knit relationship, because you have to ask yourself, do I have a relationship with this person because I genuinely care about what matters to them? Or do I have a personal relationship with this person because I care about what they do for me and to me? And that has a lot to do with how truthful we are to ourselves. Sometimes we have to realize, I talk to people on a talking basis because of what? Because I actually value what they care about? Or do I just value that they listen to me? So sometimes we have to evaluate when you're asking yourself, do you have personal integrity, is looking at your relationship. Because personal integrity, it has to do with what comes out as far as with other people. Not only what you say within yourself, but what can other people say about you and your integrity. You know, are you dealing with people on a face-to-face basis because it's what they do for you? Or is it because you actually care about what they care about? You care about their needs, their wants, their desires. Like, what are you exuding out to people that you think you are, but you may find out something different? Is there anyone else out there who wants to talk about establishing personal integrity?
Yes, good morning. How you doing? This is Randolph, Mapp. Integrity to me, my definition of integrity, what I've been told is basically doing the right thing, or doing the right thing when no one's looking, because you know it's the right thing to do. And that was a tough concept for me to grasp. Because a prime example of that is, hold on. Sorry about that. Prime example of that was I was establishing a relationship with my child and with my child's mother, and I had some bad vibes between me and her, and I found myself taking that out on my child. I had to really, one step for me in establishing integrity was to get brutally honest with Randolph. See where the part that I'm playing in things. Like Timeka was saying, what was my motive? Do I really care, or am I trying to get something out the deal? Do I just want some personal gratification, or am I doing it because it's the right thing to do? And once I really looked at the situation, I had to realize, you know what, I can't be an effective parent based off a bad relationship between me and my child's mother. I have to take care of my child and provide for my child regardless of what's going on between us. And recently what I've been doing is reaching out, slowly but surely trying to establish a healthy relationship, setting healthy parameters, so that in the process I'm building a positive relationship and practicing integrity at the same time. Because this is my child and this is my responsibility, and I have to take care of that. Another example of how I've been practicing integrity in my life on a daily basis is just simply by just changing my lifestyle from being in active addiction to being in active recovery. Nowadays, I'm able to be a productive member of society. I'm able to actually keep my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm able to do that. And all that was really possible, but because step two, besides being, number one, I had to be brutally honest again, and then number two, I had to really develop a strong relationship with God, because in order for me to be the man that I'm supposed to be, I have to have some type of spiritual connection, some type of source of power greater than myself in order to do this. Because integrity isn't an easy task to do all the time. I mean, it sounds like a novel idea, but just being that great person all the time is not naturally easy, for me at least. That's all I like to say right now about establishing integrity in my personal life. That was just a few personal examples. I'll pass it off to someone else in the group.
Okay, well, I'll take it back over in reference to personal integrity. Reverend Michael Beckwith, he talked about personal integrity, and he said a quote. He said, "Don't look for your dreams to come true. Look to become true to your dreams." I think that's very important because a lot of us want. We say we have dreams, but we're lying to ourselves every day. And sometimes we have to focus on our inner truth, because when you feel like you're a failure, for example, it puts you in a weakened state. And I can say that I've been there before, and I'm getting out of that mindset. That's why I think this call is hitting on something that we really need to touch, because you can't handle good success if you don't have personal integrity. And it's no matter, I'm going to use smoking, for example. If you're a smoker and you say, hey, I want to stop smoking, whenever you smoke, you're putting yourself in a weakened state, because you're saying, this is something that I want to stop. I'm telling myself I want to stop. But every time you do it, you're letting your guard down, because you're lying to yourself. You're saying, let me lie to myself again. Let me smoke again. So I'm lying to myself again. I want to stop, but I'm lying to myself. So what we have to realize on a day-to-day basis, since we want to have this motto, is start your day with a vision, and you want to talk about visualize what you want. Find out what it is in your life that you're consistently doing, that you're consistently lying to yourself about, so that you can break that habit. A lot of us on the 67-day habit challenge, where we're trying to start new habits, one thing you have to realize is we have the same 24 hours in a day. So in order to start a habit, you have to stop old ones. So find out, don't just tell yourself, I want to add more to my to-do list. I want to add more to my plate. I want to add more stuff. What are the things that we need to stop in order to start new things? You can't start a new habit if you can't stop an old one. So if you, for example, if you want to start a new habit to stop smoking, then what are you going to put in replace of that? Because every time you do something that you say you're not going to do, you're putting yourself in a weakened state. And when we put ourselves in a weakened state, what we're basically telling ourselves is, I'm a failure today. I'm a failure today. It's kind of like a mental state of me. For example, I'm supposed to cook breakfast every morning. In my head, I have to have the breakfast available in my refrigerator. But if I get myself off my little time stamp and I'm not able to do it, it kind of puts me in a weakened state. It's like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, all right. I have to head to the gym, but not just head to the gym for an efficient workout. I have to head there because if I don't, I feel like I'm lying to myself. And to myself, I feel like I'm a failure. So we have to put these habits in place to tell ourselves, do we have integrity? Are we doing, if we don't have integrity, it's not making us a bad person. It's just we have to get more consistent with our own truth, with our inner truth. Is there anyone else on this call who want to talk about establishing personal integrity? All right, I'll go ahead and take it back over. Nathaniel Brandon said that personal integrity is one of the most important guardians of mental health. Put simply, integrity is the absence of contradiction between what we know and what we profess what we want to do. So whatever it is that you're telling yourself that you want to do, always say, hey, I want to do this or better, and give yourself a date. Because what you don't want to happen is when we're working on something on our to-do list, once we're visualizing something that we want to attract in our life, if you don't meet that goal today, don't see yourself as a personal failure. Don't see yourself as lacking integrity. Always feel like, okay, this is something I want to reach by this date. This is something I want to do. If I failed at love before and I want to have love in my life, if I don't achieve that today, I'm not a personal failure. So a lot of us will see ourselves and put ourselves in a weakened daily state because we're not meeting our daily goals. But give yourself, when you say your affirmations every day and you believe it to be truth, give yourself some of these habits that you want to form, some of these truths that you want that are not yet there yet, give yourself a reasonable timeline for it, a reasonable date, so that you can, when you look back at your life this time next year, you know the agreements that you made to yourself, they needed time. And you needed to visualize it every day, and you needed to work towards the plan. So I'll go ahead and wrap up this call, by making sure you say your affirmations. Make sure your affirmations start with I am. Joseph Campbell said, and I know when I'm on track, that is, when everything is in a harmonious relationship to what I regard as the best I've got in me. So reanalyze yourself every day. Write a different vision for your life every day, because every day is different. If you knew that you had 20,000 more days to live, the exact date of your expiration date, ask yourself, would you live every day to the fullest? If you knew that your date was less than 20,000 more days on this earth, and it was more like 10,000 more days. A lot of us want to know the future so bad. We want to know what's coming in the next hour. We want to know what we're expecting. But if you knew, if it was as simple as visualizing, writing down your vision, living out your dreams, living your more inner truth, and making that inner truth to a reality, because really our brain only sees images. That's all it sees. We don't see the future. It only sees image to image. So if you knew that you had we know that we have an expiration date. We just don't know when that date is coming. So visualize your personal integrity as your inner truth. Make sure you have a timeline for all the truth that you have on your heart. And that's all I want to say. Is there anyone else out there who wants to say anything about establishing personal integrity before I wrap up the call? All right. Well, thank you for joining this call, whether you're listening to us out there on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and invite a friend.